Welcome to part 1 of a two-part series entitled Venerated Ancient Greek Philosopher Pythagoras, Vegan, a Mathematician and Mystic.
Souls never die, but always, on quitting one abode, pass to another. All things change, nothing perishes. The soul passes hither and thither, occupying now this body, now that. As a wax is stamped with certain figures, then melted, then stamped anew with others, yet it is always the same wax. So the soul, being always the same, yet wears at different times different forms. Pythagoras, Vegan.
Pythagoras is said to have been heavenly handsome and is well known for the mathematical theorem named after him. Moreover, Pythagoras was a much-loved vegan spiritual master. His teachings are said to have been influential for both Plato and Aristotle, setting a foundation for Western philosophy. The Pythagorean philosophy had a major influence on scientists such as Nicolaus Copernicus in the Middle Ages, who claimed that the Earth was round, Johannes Kepler, who was a key figure in the 17th century scientific revolution, and a little later, British vegetarian scientist Sir Isaac Newton, who invented calculus and developed the 3 laws of motion. The perceptive and talented Pythagoras didn't stop at metaphysics and mathematics. He was also a pioneering figure in the fields of astronomy and music. So, what else do we know about the life of this inspiring and influential master? We know that he was born around 570 BC on Samos, a Greek island sitting just off the coast of modern-day Turkey. He appears to have been the son of Mnesarchus, a gem engraver. Some historians believe that his birth had been predicted by an oracle, who said that the child to be born would benefit humanity. Pythagoras spent his childhood in Samos, but traveled widely with his father. There are accounts that say Pythagoras accompanied his father to Tyre in present-day Lebanon, where he was instructed by Chaldeans and Syrian sages. He also appears to have been in Italy with his father. Furthermore, during the early years of his search of wisdom and truth, it is thought that Pythagoras traveled to Egypt, India, and Babylon. The esteemed Madame Blavatsky, co-founder of the Theosophical Society, says in her book The Secret Doctrine that the ideas of Pythagoras coincide too well with the systems of India and Zoroastrianism to doubt their origin by anyone who has some acquaintance with these systems. She also says that Pythagoras himself was an initiate of the mystery schools, whose roots are found in Egypt, Chaldea, and India. Once Pythagoras had gained an understanding of the mysteries of the human condition, he proceeded to share his esoteric knowledge, teaching what he had learned to those who were ready. In the 3rd century literary work, The Life of Pythagoras, Syrian philosopher Iamblichus wrote that Pythagoras studied the Crete legal system and went on to found a school called the Semicircle of Pythagoras upon returning to Samos. It was the first philosophical school in Greece.
He formed the school in the city of Samos, the semicircle of Pythagoras, which is known by that name even today, in which the Samians hold political meetings. They do this because they think one should discuss questions about goodness, justice, and expediency in this place, which was founded by the man who made all these subjects his business. Outside the city, he made a cave, the private site of his own philosophical teaching, spending most of the night and daytime there and doing research into the uses of mathematics. Lamilicious, Vegetarian. Excerpt from the Life of Pythagoras.
Around 518 BC, Pythagoras settled in Croton, a Greek colony in southern Italy. In Croton, he founded a learning academy, and this is where most of his philosophical and spiritual teaching took place. Pythagoras is said to have made up the word philosopher from the Greek philo, meaning love, and sophos, meaning wisdom. He is thought to have said, "The deity only is wise. Men, at their best, are merely lovers of wisdom." In Croton, Pythagoras established a spiritual organization or brotherhood, although it was open to both men and women. Pythagoras was well ahead of his time and considered women and men to be equal. One of his main doctrines was centered around reincarnation, the transmigration of souls, according to which every soul is immortal and enters a new body after death. He taught that a regime of moral behavior was conducive to a spiritual life, with a goal of eventually becoming free from the cycle of birth and rebirth. One of his contemporaries, philosopher Xenophanes of Colophon, mentions the story of Pythagoras interceding on behalf of a dog person that was being thrashed. Pythagoras claimed to recognize the voice of a departed friend in its cries. There were strict codes of behavior within the Pythagorean community, and for the first 6 years of discipleship, they were called axiomatiki, or hearers. Followers had to keep a code of silence and secrecy, living an ascetic life as a community. The basic beliefs taught by Pythagoras were: 1. At its deepest level, reality is mathematical in nature. 2. That philosophy can be used for spiritual purification. 3. That the soul can rise to union with the divine. 4. That certain symbols have mystical significance. 5. That all members of the order observe strict loyalty and secrecy. Pythagoras was a trailblazing vegan with an understanding that animal people were to be treated with respect, and his followers were also required to be vegetarian. He spoke out strongly against the killing of any people from the animal kingdom and lamented,
Alas, what wickedness to swallow flesh into our own flesh, to fatten our greedy bodies by cramming in other bodies, to have one living creature fed by the death of another.
He also said,
In the midst of such wealth as earth, the best of mothers provides, yet nothing satisfies you, but to behave like the Cyclopses inflicting sorry wounds with cruel teeth. You cannot appease the hungry cravings of your wicked, gluttonous stomachs, except by destroying some other life.
According to Roman poet Ovid, Pythagoras once warned,
As long as man continues to be the ruthless destroyer of lower living beings, he will never know health or peace. For as long as men massacre animals, they will kill each other. Indeed, he who sows the seed of murder and pain cannot reap joy and love.
Not only did Pythagoras understand the karmic consequences of killing and consuming animal people, but he also recognized the health benefits of a plant-based diet, and saw vegetarianism as an important component of a peaceful human life. He was possibly influenced by the worshipped Shakyamuni Buddha, who was a contemporary of the Greek mystic. In 2007, Supreme Master Ching Hai also mentioned how Pythagoras' teachings followed the essence of the Essenes, the same wisdom as transmitted by all peaceful religions.
The essence trace also can find in Buddha's teachings, because Buddha later gave forth essentially the same basic ideas, and his sacred Bodhi tree is correlated with the essence tree of life. In Tibet, the teachings once more found expression in the Tibetan way of life. That is according to the book research. They think that way, yeah? But this is only our theory, yeah? What the book cannot show you here is the essence of it. The essence of the essence, yeah? The name connotes some essence, yeah? Essence of the things, essence of yourself, essence of the divine, the essence of all things, the most important thing, okay? So, the Pythagoreans and the Stoics of ancient Greeks also follow the essence principles and much of their way of life.
Our deepest thanks to Master for sharing her eternal wisdom, and we look forward to learning more about the diverse and remarkable life of Pythagoras.
If you can save lives by being vegan, what are you here for? To destroy others' lives?
It's been a pleasure to have you, our enlightened viewers, with us today.